And I really am trying to step away from that way of thinking, especially now that I'm in my 40s. Hi everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 14, 11, and 9. I am now currently only a homeschool mom of 2 of those kids because my eldest has gone to school, and I will get into all of those details in our life and homeschool update, which should air this week or next week, so stay tuned. It has been a long time since I've talked to you guys, my friends. I have taken a hiatus for the majority of 2023 from this YouTube channel. But today I just wanted to start off 2024 fresh to let you guys know that I do intend on making more videos in 2024. So many of you have sent some nice messages just asking me if everything was okay and if I intend to come back and how helpful my other videos have been. So I really do appreciate it. I myself was surprised to figure out that I had put out over 400 videos on this channel, and so I hope they have been helpful to you. If you are interested in looking into previous videos, I have organized the majority of them by both grade level and topic area, so sometimes you'll see the same video in different playlists. But if you wanted to look, for example, just for geography videos, you can look at that particular playlist and see different years worth of geography curricula that we've used. And if you wanted to look just at 2nd grade, for example, you can just go to the 2nd grade playlist and you can see math and English and geography and everything else. So that's how the channel is organized, and I really do appreciate your support over the years. I love that so many of you reached out to me on Instagram, where I really do share more frequently and share about our daily process and different projects we're working on, and also funny memes, etc. Lots of random science videos and things like that. So I like to share things on Instagram that you could also show your kids, but then also some things that are just more mom related. So thank you everybody who has stuck with me and supported me over this time. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and hit a like and all of those things because it helps boost the videos in this YouTube algorithm. And if you come over to Instagram, I would love to see you there, because really that is where you get more insight into who I really am as a person and how we really run our homeschool. So that all aside, I am happy to get back into my YouTube channel, and the first video of the year that I typically do is a word of the year video. Now, I am a paper planner, as many of you are, and I think for paper planners in particular, this word of the year concept fits so nicely because we like to set our goals, we like to set our intentions, and having a word of the year kind of be an umbrella that lays over all of that, or a foundation that lays beneath it, is so helpful as you go forward and make your minutia goals. So this year was no different from any other. It was difficult for me to pick a word of the year. It always is. And if it is difficult for you, I thought I would share with you some of the things that I do to make it a little bit easier. So one of the first things I do is very typical. I go to Pinterest, I type in, suggestions for word of the year 2024, and then I print out some of these lists. And one option is just to pick a word from the list, but I'm too ornery for that because I hate doing the same thing everybody else is. And so I generally go through and I highlight words that are popping out at me, things and themes that are resonating with me right now. And that gives me a starting point, it gets my own wheels turning. And then the next thing I do is I look through my planner and I look through my journal from the year prior, and I see what kind of themes were popping up, what kinds of things was I writing down, what kind of areas in my life were I seeing potential for improvement or potential for growth. And I sort of glean from there, what am I really trying to move towards right now in this moment? It's a little bit tricky, I think, when we pick our word of the year and we set our intentions, because I think the tendency arises to punish ourselves for all of our weaknesses and failings. And I really am trying to step away from that way of thinking, especially now that I'm in my 40s. I really want to focus more on being happy with who I actually am, while also realizing that there are ways in which I can polish up and hone the way in which I interact with my world, right? And the people in it. I wanted to pick a word that would allow me to go forward in a positive direction without trying to make me into a new person. I think we are all pretty good the way we are. And if we could just shine up the things that are great about ourselves, and figure out how to interact with our world in a way that is healthy for ourselves and for the people in it, then that would be better than trying to transform ourselves into this shiny new version of a human who's different in almost every way. So the word I have picked for myself is a pretty typical word. It's pretty short. It's only 4 letters, and it is glow. The reason I picked it is because I realized one of the common themes that was coming up in my journals and planners and poems that I was reading this year was the idea of light. Not so much a sparkly kind of glow or a glittery kind of glow, so much as a steady candle lit type of glow. What I want to do in 2024 and beyond, and how I want to show up in not only my life but in my own thoughts, in the way that I process everything that's happening, is with a steadiness, with a steady type of glow, with a steady type of warmth. I've been blessed in many ways. I think we can ignore the good things in our life very easily. I think most of us do. I think the human brain is also primed to work that way. I think we look for threats, we look for lack and deficit, and we tend to focus on those in the same way that we focus on our sadness. In the same way that if you're the type of person who only journals on the bad days, your journal at the end of the year looks like this sad sob story of a life, but it ignores all the times when you were just happy and you didn't write anything down about that because you were too happy to go to your room and take a journal out and like write about it because you were busy being happy, doing the things. I didn't want to put so much pressure on myself to focus or achieve or have these big things happen. I really wanted to focus on that idea of being present in a warm and glowing type of way, not only for others, like not only for my children and for my husband and my friends, but also for myself. You know, so as things happen, particularly upsetting things or disappointing things or little hiccups in the day, as a mom, we have 10,000 hiccups, right, in the day. I want to approach them with some type of steady glow. And that is really what I aspire to as a mother, I realize, and also just as a person. More than doing it for anyone else's sake, I think it would be so helpful for me to try to really cultivate that warmth, that idea of a fire that doesn't go out, that idea of a flameless warmth, you know, something that doesn't require so much energy, but is just sort of a steady, banked warmth, a steady glow. I like looking up definitions of the word also, and I just thought I'd read you some for the word glow. So one of them is a flush of radiant feeling, flushed with a pleasurable excitement, to glow or shine as if red hot. It actually comes from the Old English glow on, and the Proto-Germanic glowana, and the Proto-Indo-European gel. As a verb, it is to shine with or as if with a great heat, to give off light without flame. As a noun, it is a steady radiance of light or heat. And in terms of history, the very first time we actually see it written down in the way that we use it today is in Shakespeare's writing in the early 1600s. And the first time we see it as a verb is in that Old English sense as far back as 1150s. So I love this idea of a steady radiance, that noun form of the word. So that is my word of the year, glow. I hope I bring it to every interaction. I hope I bring it to my skincare. I hope I bring it to my internal thoughts and monologue. And I hope I bring it to every single day when I see my children, whether they wake me up with complaining or with happiness or with any of their feelings. Like, I want to be that steady glow, you know, that center of my home and my life. And I want it to exist internally for myself as well as without. So that is my goal. I would love to hear what your words of the year are this year. And if you have any tips and tricks for how you go about finding your word of the year, I'd love it if you would share it in the comments down below. I think it's so helpful, myself personally, when I find interesting tips and tricks in the comments that I maybe didn't find in the video. And that is really how we build community here. Though, as I mentioned before, if you want to pop on over to Instagram and follow me at Project Happy Home over there, I would appreciate it, because that is where I share most of my daily life and like my little thoughts and different stories and memes and things like that that make me laugh or make me interested or make me cry. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for spending some of your time with me. I know that it's valuable and I appreciate it. And I wish you the very best day and year ahead.